Hello everybody, it's Maikito. Quickly going over yesterday's picks. I'm pretty sure I even called yesterday that if I did, I was very likely to get one or two wrong yesterday, and that's exactly what happened. I got two wrong. I went 6-2. Oyarzabal hit. He hit towards the end, so that was a bit of a sweat. Gurasi hit. Undaf, I said take Gurasi or Undaf, and they both hit. Playa, that one was really suspicious, or at least just weird. I'm not gonna say suspicious, just weird in general. He had 27. We needed him to get 29 passes. He had 27 at halftime, and they were tied 1-1. He's their striker, and so do you expect him to stay in? But for some odd reason, they decided to sub him out at halftime. And if you look through the season, that hasn't happened. He's been subbed in off the bench at halftime, but he's never been taken out. So that was just really weird. Douche higher .5 goals or assists. Hit. He crossed the ball and he got an assist. Dubravka over 2.5 saves. That one hit by halftime. Anthony Gordon over 25.5 passes hit. I know a lot of people took it at like 28, 29, and it still hit at that point. Rafinha came off the bench, so that one DNP'd. And then Gregoric didn't even get a single shot. Freiburg in general just played really bad, so I can't blame him. And then the Dortmund moneyline lean hit. Monaco moneyline hit, Madrid moneyline hit. The only one that missed was the Inter Milan second half, 3 moneyline. They didn't score the whole game, which I think that's the first time that's happened this whole season. So that was just really weird and unlucky for us, which I can understand why, because Inter Milan were, I guess they were already champions. But regardless, overall still a pretty good day yesterday. And again, hopefully we can carry that momentum into tomorrow's slate. Quickly, before I get into the picks, I have two leans. The first one is Lewis Dunk, higher than .5 shots. The reason why he's a lean is just because I'm not sure how dominant Villa is going to be against Brighton. But he averages over one shot a game at home. And he's good in the air, which is where he gets most of his headers. And Villa are bad at aerial duels. Like I said, the only reason why it's a lean is just because I'm just not sure how dominant Aston Villa is going to be. And then the other one is Vertonghen, lower than 3.5 shots. I just feel like that high is a little too high for him. But I have those two as my leans. But my first pick is in the English Premier League. It is Pascal Gross, higher than 1.5 tackles, playing at home for Brighton, going up against Aston Villa. He averages 2.5 tackles at home, so already averages one more than what he needs. He plays full minutes because he has a lot of stamina, and he's gonna start in the midfield. And if they sub out their right back or their left back, he'll move into that position. He can pretty much play anywhere. He's played everywhere for him, so he's gonna play full minutes. And Villa will be aggressive because they want to stay in their top 4 spot, so he can get in the Champions League. And he's gonna be there, and he's gonna be essential to break up the Aston Villa play. And I think at 1.5 you're getting good value. If he gets bumped up to 2, I wouldn't take him there just because he would need that third. I like him at 1.5 because I feel pretty confident that he'll get 2. So I like Gross, higher than 1.5 tackles. My next pick is actually his teammate, the right back, Joel Veltman, higher than 2.5 tackles. He's gone over in his last 3 out of 5 games. The 5 games he had 1, 3, 5, 6, and 0. The one where he only got 1, he got subbed out at halftime because he had a yellow card, so they didn't want to risk him getting a red. He's already an aggressive player in general. And then in the one where he had 0, they played Nottingham Forest, and they were just really dominant. And Nottingham Forest didn't have any attacks, so he didn't even have a chance to be aggressive against them. Like I said, he's naturally an aggressive player, so he's going to go for the tackles regardless as long as he gets the chances, which I think he will. Because like I said, in the Gross pick, Villa's going to be aggressive because they want that top 4 spot. And when he played him earlier in the season as the right back, which is where he's going to be playing, he had 6 tackles against them, and we just need him to get 3. He averages 3 tackles per 90 in general, so I think this is just a good spot for Veltman to go higher than 2.5 tackles. My next pick is Alfonso Areola, higher than 3.5 saves, playing away from home for West Ham, going up against Chelsea. He averages 4.45 saves, so already averages over this mark, and he averages 73.2% of saves, which is really good. There's a reason why he averages that many saves, because he actually is a really good goalkeeper. West Ham allow 18.6 shots away from home, and Chelsea shoot 6 on target from 16 shots, so they already average 6 on target. And even if he just faces 6, I expect him to save at least 4 of them. And he had 3 against them last time, but that was against in the beginning of the season against a weak Chelsea side. And now Chelsea's been in form. They didn't have Cole Palmer. That's the main reason why. If Cole Palmer plays, they're gonna get more shots, and they're gonna be a better team in general. So I think it's a good mark for him. Chelsea are 2 points off a top 6 for a European spot, which if you set that in the beginning of the season or mid in the midway of the season, you wouldn't have expected that. But they've been doing good, so Chelsea's going to be aggressive, and they're playing at home, and West Ham is weak defensively away from home, so there's going to be plenty of opportunities for Areola to get these saves, so I like him higher than 3.5 saves. My next pick is Cole Palmer, higher than 1.5 shots on target, again playing for Chelsea at home against West Ham. He averages 1.67 shots on target per 90 from 3.9 shots at home, so he averages a little over half of his shots are on target, and I like that because he's probably gonna get around 4 or 5 shots, and if he scores, you get there's a 0.5 goals mark that you can take, but if he scores, I don't think that'll just be from his very first shot on target, so that's why I'd rather take his 1.5 shots on target. He's gone over this mark in his last 4 out of 5 games at home, and like I said, it's close to the top 6. They call Chelsea Cole Palmer FC for a reason. I think this is a good spot for him against a weak Chelsea side to take shots, and he'll shoot from anywhere. So, like I said, if you take his line at 4, or if you take his 0.5 goals, I think before he can even go over that mark, he'll get this mark first. So I think it's safer. So I like Cole Palmer higher than 1.5 shots on target. My next pick is in the Italian Serie A. It is Michele Sterefolini, higher than 2.5 saves, playing away from home for Frosinone, going against Empoli. He averages 3.25 saves in 4 games that he's played. He's only played 4 games because Turati got injured in the last game, and he got subbed in at halftime, so he's going to be playing next game too. And I think it's a good spot for him to prove himself, at least for the rest of the season in case he gets moved to a different team. So I think this is a good spot for him to try to play good. They're both tied in points, both teams, Empoli and Frosinone, and they're both right above the relegation zone. So both teams can risk just not shooting the ball because both teams are going to want to win. So there's going to be plenty of opportunity for Sterefolini at Frosinone to get saves, because even then, Frosinone allowed 15.7 shots, and Empoli averaged 3.5 shots on target from 11 shots that they take. So even if they take those couple extra shots, they should get like 4 to 5 shots on target. And he's out of those games that he's played, he has saved 68.8% of the shots he's faced on target. So I think at 2.5, this is a good spot, especially away from home, to go over 2.5 saves. My next pick is Tijani. I don't even know how to say his last name. I'll put him on the screen. To go lower than 0.5 shots on target, playing at home for AC Milan, going up against Genoa. He averages 0.26 per 90, so already way below this mark. And he went under this mark last game, even better for us. And he's also gone under this mark in his last 4 out of 5 games in the league. He averages 1 shot at home, and he actually averages less shots at home because he only shoots when he needs to. When Milan are trying to get the win and they don't have any of the options, he'll go up and he'll shoot more. But against Genoa, I expect him to be more dominant. They're going to be more in control. And out of the 32 games that he's played, he's only had 7 shots on target. So do the math. It's, like I said, 0.26 shots on target. So he's very unlikely to even shoot. He might take 1, and I don't think that 1 will be on target because he has a low shot on target to shot ratio, and they have got nothing to play for, so it's not like he needs to go up and shoot anyways. So I like Tijani to go lower than 0.5 shots on target. My last player prop is in Spain La Liga. It is Jaume, lower than 2.5 saves, playing at home for Valencia, going up against Alaves. I've taken this before, but not for him, for Mamarashvili, because Valencia have a good defense at home. They only allow 9 shots against them at home, and Alaves averaged 3.6 shots from 11 shots away from home. And if they are likely to shoot less, they won't get those shots on target. When Alaves played Valencia earlier in the season at home, where they shoot more, they only had 1 shot on target against them, and Mamarashvili only had 1 save. And I also say that because this keeper for Valencia has actually not played a single game this season, because earlier in the last game, Mamarashvili got suspended, so he's not allowed to play in his next game. So he's their backup keeper who hasn't played a single game this season, so he's going to be cold. He's not going to be in match form. He hasn't played a single game this season, and in the game that he did play, he conceded, when he got subbed in at halftime, in the last game, he conceded 3 goals from 1.45 expected goals. So he didn't even play good in the game, though he got to play at least half of the game last game. So even if Alaves somehow get 3 shots on target, which first of all I doubt they'll even get 3, and even if they do, I expect one of them to go in. So I like Howman to go lower than 2.5 saves. I want to give a shout out to my partner Underdog Fantasy. You can use code Maikito, link in the description. They'll match your first deposit up to $100. I also have my Cashapp and my Fliff linked in the description. Donating is not necessary, but it are always very much appreciated. I've been doing really good lately, so anything that you guys want to send will always help. So I really appreciate anybody who uses either one of those codes. My money lines lately, for the most part, more hit than don't. But I know obviously most people put all my money lines together, which is honestly my intention, just because I take a lot. Some of them are juiced, and I take those to make the slip plus money. But this time I'm just feel like this is gonna be like a safe one, just 2 legs. Maybe put them together, you get like plus 100. So I'm doing these two just because I want to at least guarantee a money line slip tomorrow. So I like these plays. My first one is a Chelsea money line against West Ham. They've gone over this in 9 out of 17, and they average over 2 goals scored at home. And like I said earlier, when I was talking about them, they'll be, if they win, they'll only be 2 points away from top 6. So they need to get this win. And West Ham is actually surprisingly the 3rd worst defense away from home. They've conceded 38 goals in 17 away games. So they concede over 2 goals in general away from home. And this is going to come down to just Chelsea outscoring them. And I think, well, like I said earlier in the season when they played him, they didn't have Cole Palmer, and now they do, and he's going to be the main difference maker. He draws so many people to him. He's a good passer. He's a good shooter. So I just think it's a good spot for Chelsea to win at home and be close, taking a top 6 spot. And my last pick, the one that I picked to make this a plus money play, we're going to go, we took it last time, and I've taken them like this team 2 or 3 times, and they've hit every time, and it's for a reason. It is Leverkusen win or draw against Eintracht Frankfurt. They're still undefeated in the season. No matter what, they always find a way to at least tie the game. I don't think Frankfurt is a good team at home. Don't get me wrong. They are a good team. They're good defensively, which is why they're good at home. But when they played them earlier in the season, they won 3-0 at home. And Leverkusen are just on a historic run, and it'll be really bad for them to lose so close to the end of the season. And I just don't think that Frankfurt have what it takes to beat Leverkusen. So I like Leverkusen win or draw against Frankfurt. Thank you everybody for watching. I found those plays for you guys, so try to get them as soon as y'all can, because I know they do go away quickly. That happened yesterday, but they still came up as bumps, and even with the bumps, a lot of them hit. But I really appreciate all of you guys for watching. If I do find more plays that I do like, I'll add them in the YouTube description. So please make sure to check back just in case I do add more. But hopefully everybody has a good night, and we can cash out again tomorrow.